Before we move on to our next segment, which is our monster showcase, I need to talk about a new item that is available and will be available a little more to you guys in the Ethernet. David and John also have the ability to showcase this. This is a new book that just came out. It's called The Godzilla History of Formative Arts, 1954 to 2016. This is a 500+ page book that is filled with photos from the Godzilla series. And this book is available in Japan, will be available in the States very soon. It's if I recall correctly, it's $60 in Japan. It'll be $90 or $100 here in the States. It's actually being it's not just an import, it is being like distributed here in America. And we'll post the link in the show notes and of course in the group as well. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this book because David and I were sent basically review copies. And
yes, absolutely.
There's no shame in admitting that the main reason that they sent us these copies is because they want American fans to know how cool this book is. And I mean, again, look how thick that is. Wow. This is thicker than any other Godzilla book in my collection, I think. Maybe
me too.
I should go count the pages of like the Art of Shin Godzilla and stuff like that. But basically, this is huge. Impressive. And the fact that it's like, actually, what's funny is like we were talking about the paper, David. Like the printing makes everything look gorgeous when we hold it up to the cameras. It's not reflecting.
Yeah, it's not glossy or anything.
The screens. So as I said, in all fairness and all honesty, this has gotten some negative feedback on Amazon Japan. And the reason for that is basically because people aren't happy with the paper quality, aren't happy with some of the graphic design. As a designer, I can understand some of those change problems and issues with that kind of stuff. But what I'd like to do is the rationalization that I like to do for myself. John, you just held up one of those Toho special effects books, right?
I got you.
Yeah. So these guys, if you are in Japan, right? If you're in the country that makes them, they're only $10. If you're outside Japan, they're going to cost you at least double that, right? Yes. One of those books, so you'd have to buy. You could only buy 10 books, 10 of those books, to get the cost of this book, which would not put you anywhere close to 550 plus pages.
Yeah.
No way.
Content.
Absolutely no way.
So if you are like Leslie and you're addicted to those Toho special effects books, or John and addicted to those, you might see a lot of the same content from those books in this book, but there's a lot more in this. I think there's a lot more content in this than the other books. I only have a few of them, but I'm absolutely stoked to have this in my collection.
They're just great photos.
I want to say a couple things about it too, if you don't mind.
Of course.
It's 528 pages of all photos, basically, right? And it's large format paper, which Kyle mentioned, which may be a little off-putting to some people, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I think it really works for this particular book. The layout of the book is similar to those Toho special effects books that Leslie and John show every week. It's got some amazing photographs that familiar and unfamiliar ones, images that I've never seen before, and that's pretty hard to do. I thought I've seen everything. There's so many photographs that I've never seen. It is going to be available at the Godzilla store, Books Kinokuniya, and you can get it right now, I believe, on CD Japan. For
you can get it,
I don't have the exact prices, but we could put that in the show notes. But here's my take on it. I think it's great, and I'm going to compare it to the Criterion Blu-ray set. Is it great? Yes. Could it be better? Yes. Am I stoked that I have it? Yes. For the price, it's absolutely worth it. And if you're a fan of those books, the Toho special effects books, it's just enhances the love for those type of books. So I say it's definitely worth the cost. So yeah, here it is on CD Japan. And actually it's sold out currently, but I'm pretty sure they'll restock it at some point. And
And it's going to be available here in the States too, obviously. That's like
it will be available here in the States too. I think they said in the fall, if I'm not mistaken. It will be sold on the shelves.
The last thing I heard
of Kinokuniya. So you can go to your local Kinokuniya bookstore and just grab it from the shelf. So if we're going to give it a rating, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. That's my rating. You guys don't necessarily have to do that. I know some people don't like ratings, but I'm stoked I have it. It's great, and I do recommend it. John, do you want to say a few words about your impressions?
I love it. As a graphic designer, I can really, I appreciate the approach. I love the paper. I know that may be some may not like the paper choice, and that it's matte and all that. But just imagine if it was hardback with 500 pages and a more semi-glossy stock or something. It would have been
that's right,
$200. And
or more,
it's a different approach, a different compared to all the other books. It's unique. So yes, 68 yen.
Yes, Ryan.
Yes. And to have them alongside with the other, with these, it's a really nice set, especially if you're new to collecting Godzilla books. It's a great place to start. And like you said, a lot of unique photos. Can't beat it.
Can I say one thing?
Of course.
Always, Leslie.
As you know, I am into these books. I collect these books. And I will talk with my co-host whether I should go after this new book. Because truth be told, even though this new book is awesome, there are a few images that's in this book. There are also in some of the Godzilla books from the Toho store. So if you want to double dip, which is totally fine, because I'm sure we all double dipped at some point, I would like to say that basically you get the best of both worlds if you choose to go after both. With the one book, you get nothing but Godzilla, and which is great, right? But also, if you go the total special effects route, they not only cover Godzilla, they cover Anguirus, they cover Mecha Godzilla, they cover Minya, they cover Titanosaurus. Even the new books that are coming out, I think next, Monster X and Gigan 2004. Woo! Can't wait for that. Anyway,
yeah, major changes.
It's like so I cannot stress going after these books enough, because to me they're like watching a Blu-ray movie, except it's in paper form. If you don't feel like going to a Blu-ray, popping it in, wait for it to load, all you gotta do is just flip the pages, as well as the Godzilla book. And it's unfortunate that this new book is getting slammed on Amazon Japan or wherever it is, but as you heard it here, folks, if you love Godzilla and if you love collecting these type of books, it is well worth your time to go after it. So
looks like a really nice book.
It's interesting you say it's getting slammed. It's getting some negative reviews for sure, but every single person who has it here in the States that I've talked to, and that's quite a few people in the various collecting groups, is pretty satisfied with it. So hopefully, it will do well, and maybe like you said, Leslie, it does not contain any other monster except Godzilla. Maybe they'll do a second one that has all of the friends and foes of Godzilla from the Toho series, which would be cool too. So and it does only represent the Japanese versions of Godzilla, 1954 through 2016. It does not include any of the MonsterVerse or the TriStar Godzilla. So it is just the Japanese versions of Godzilla. So and the text is in both English and Japanese. I think we forgot to mention that too. So it's easy to understand, to read. I read a lot of the text. I admit I haven't read all of it, but it's pretty spot on. It's great text.
Admittedly, it's a picture book first and foremost. So there's even it's great that they have English in it, but I mean, definitely kind of above and beyond for them to put English in it, I think.
I was just going to say the book is unique. There's no other book that I can recall that's like it. I mean, it's very modern. So it's a nice, it's a new approach to Godzilla books, which is fresh.
For real. Yeah, huge. I give it major props for having like such giant photos.
Yeah.
Back when we did the documentary, I remember saying like, I want to make a book where it's like one page is an entire photo, because I'm so tired of these tiny photos with teeny tiny text on top of it. Anyway, we'll have a link in the show notes so you can check it out on your own, and we will definitely be telling you when this is available in the States as well. I think as we said earlier, it's probably August, but we're going to go ahead and move along